When you're in the learning phase, it can be really difficult to know when you're capable and when you're ready to create your own applications. Now, that's what we're going to figure out today. Hello, my name is William Carter from letsjustcode.com, and before I get into the video, if you're not familiar with me or the whole brand in general, we help people learn iOS development as fast as possible because we really don't like the learning phase. We just want to get straight to making apps. So we say cut that out as fast as possible and get right into the good stuff. So let's get right into the content. So before I start this video, I just want to say all of these things you don't have to do before making your first app. They're just recommended. If you truly feel that you're ready to make an app, then go ahead and try and make it. Now this video is assuming that you're learning iOS development or you've been doing it for a little while and want to see, okay, now I can actually make apps. But if you haven't started learning at all yet, or if you're just kind of stuck and want to learn a little bit faster, I just want to say that there's actually a gift near the end of the video that's completely free to learn faster. So let's hop right into it. And the first thing that you should ask yourself is, what applications am I trying to make and how hard are they actually to make? Because if you're trying to make applications that are super simple, maybe a bunch of buttons on it that play little noises, like those apps aren't too complex to make, and you would need way less experience if you want to create more advanced apps like a social media app, a workout app, or something along those lines. So kind of just do a little bit of research to see how long the application is going to take and what experience of iOS development you should actually be at to start making that type of application, which you can get really easily by just asking people on Reddit. There's a bunch of great programmers on there. Or you can just use your imagination, see what things you need to actually make that app and see if you can do it already. But the next thing that you should do, which I think is pretty important, is actually validate your code. So have you ever been inside of an application and it's just really laggy, like really not well built? Well, that's because the programmer probably wasn't that experienced and wrote really sloppy code. Sure, the thing works, but it can be way more efficient and way better. So you want to see how good you are at actually writing code before diving in to making your own apps. So to do this, you can take any projects that you've been working on before, kind of test them out, time how long they're actually taking to load. If they're a long time, then your code is probably a little more sloppy, and just see what advancements you can make to make your code more efficient. But another thing that you can actually do is ask other people. So you can actually post your project on GitHub or post little snippets of your code on Reddit or Stack Overflow, which Stack Overflow is basically Reddit strictly for programming, which is really great. It has a bunch of advanced people on there that will definitely tell you if their code is good or if it's bad. But I just want to caution you, they're really, really advanced people, so they're most likely going to say that your code is a little sloppy or that it's all right. And I just want to say that your code doesn't have to be perfect to actually create and release apps. That being said, it does need to be somewhat good, and if your code is way too sloppy, like say you wrote 1,000 lines of code, but that could actually be just turned into 100 lines of code, that can really slow down the processing power and can actually get your application request to go onto the App Store disapproved, so you wouldn't even be able to launch it onto the App Store if you have really, really sloppy code. This is only in certain circumstances. So there's actually one more thing that you should do and ask yourself before actually knowing if you can create applications. But before we get into it, I promised that there would be a surprise near the end of the video, and there's actually a free mini course, 100% free, to learn iOS development in under a month. It will show you how to learn fast, which is essential, and I wish I knew how to learn fast, because I actually spent a whole entire year learning it, and now I'm teaching people how to learn it in under a month, which is pretty crazy and definitely one of my regrets. But the most important thing that you should do and ask yourself is if you got enough practice in, because practice makes perfect. I know it's a little bit cliche, a little bit cringy maybe, but it's definitely true. So first of all, I hope that you've created a bunch of projects to actually practice and get used to the Swift language and iOS development in general, but I think that you should also create your own apps. Maybe they're not going to be super professional applications, but I think that you should create at least a couple of applications so you can improve a couple times before actually creating a professional app that you're going to release onto the App Store. But yeah, that just about does it. And I know that was pretty short and quick, but I think that's all you really need to do to actually know if you're ready to create apps and launch them onto the App Store. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're actually going to take some of this advice, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.